Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So I'm so excited. We're doing a little technique today, and it's one that I saw done by Sarah Millerhouse. She's one of the design team members for Vicky Booten, and she was using the Distress Ink re-inkers, which I pulled out three there, and I got the matching distress inks, distress oxides, and stencil. So the first thing we're gonna do, I already cut my paper to 4 by 5 1/4. I have my spray bottle and a piece of packaging paper material. So I'm just gonna put one drop. And for a lot of what I saw her do with this, even on big scrapbook pages compared to like cards, she's able to do a lot of color movements um, with only one drop of this reinker. And it works really like watercolors, but it's very saturated in color. So you can do a lot of great techniques using the reinkers. A lot of times I very rarely have to reink my ink pads, and I've had quite a few of these for a while now. And so you have these full bottle reinkers just sitting there, and what a great technique this is to use it in a way that maybe you're not thinking. Okay, and using just one drop isn't going to waste a lot of the ink. So you should be able to still re-ink your ink pads and have fun with a watercolor or mixed media technique like this. And if you don't like the vibrancy, and as soon as I did this, I knew. I was like, oh, I've mixed in some of the blue because you can see it's a little purpley. And I was like, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to use the color, and I'm not going to mix it with the brush. And I'm just going to spray it with the water and then try and just make it a little bit brighter. But I saw the color mixing as I was trying to move it with the paintbrush. So if you're going to do like colors like this where they would mix and create other colors, then just get multiple brushes. Okay, trust me. Okay, so we're going to set that one to the side, and then we're going to do the last one, which is Salvage Patina. But what I was going to say is you can do the same exact thing using the Distress Oxide reinkers. The only thing is the color is not vibrant because you know the oxides have more of a chalky quality to them, but you can do the same technique with those two. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to use your products, even if it's something like a refill. You can use it on something other than just re-inking an ink pad. You can use the same thing if you have Catherine Pooler re-inkers. Any re-inker can work, especially if it's a dye based that moves with water. You can use it like a watercolor. So just because I'm using distress inks or oxide inks, use what you have. If you have a re-inker for a dye ink, use it. You can use it the same exact way. All right. Now, on some of the pigment inks, they're going to work kind of like the distress oxides. Not that they'll have a natural, like a chalkiness to them, but it's just, you know, pigment inks operate differently. That's what I'll say. Okay, so now we've stepped off, dried these, and now we're going to start using the same color with a stencil over top. Okay, now I'm using sort of like basically like the makeup brushes style, but you could use your regular distress tool to do this. I was trying to think, you could use a pouncer, whatever you guys have. You just want to put the ink down on top of the ink smushing to give it just a little bit of texture, right? It's just adding texture to the color we've put down. And in between each of the colors, I'm going to use some Brutus Monroe Squeaky Clean in the honeysuckle. It's starting to get low. I think I have one more of these that I bought from my little scrapbook store. So I may have to go and check that to see if I can get any more, see if she has any more in stock. It's one of my favorite cleaners, and I like using it to clean off more than just brushes. I use it on a little bit of everything. So now on this one, I went up a little bit higher for our stencil. So it looks like smaller diamonds, and then it goes down to the bigger ones. And then for the last one, after we clean up, I'm going to put it on an angle on this one. You'll see that here in a second. And I didn't use pixie spray. With something like this, I didn't really feel the need to like have it be securely down. And you can see, and then I like hit it. You see how I did it? And then I was like, oh yeah, no, we could put it on an angle. So I just grabbed my saltwater taffy and inked it up. Now I will say, when I moved this one, the center wasn't as dark. So I just try and line it back up as good as I can. Do you know what I mean? Because like sometimes when you move stuff, it doesn't line up really well. But this one, I was pretty much able to get it right where I want it. And then I tried to concentrate the ink right in the center. Now, hindsight being 2020, with that one, I probably should have used a distress blender, because you can get a little bit more ink on the distress sponge and really ink up that more saturated area of the distress ink that we did smooshing with, but it really winds up being a really pretty card. So I'm happy with how these turns out. So tomorrow, you guys, we'll take these 3 card fronts and make cards with them. Now, I pulled out the sticker book just to give you an idea. So if you had like sticker sheets or stickers that would work with these collections, you can use that and create layouts. So here I have some left of No Limits. I like this tag, so I grab that, and I grab a sentiment. I think it says No Limits or something like that. Let me just make sure. Oh, the sky is the limit. The sky's the limit. That's what it is. So all I did was I took my powder, made the backs of the stickers no longer sticky, so that way they're more like ephemera pieces. I did that for the tag and for the sentiment. So I think we're going to put it just like that. And then I grabbed from Catherine Pooler, there are these, the sequin mix. And of course now I don't have it right in front of me because I wanted to tell you what the name of the sequin mix was. Oh, don't you just love it? I love it. Because I thought, oh, there it is. So this sequin mix I used was Portsmouth. Okay. And it has the greens and the blue sequin pieces. So that will be fun. And then the same thing with this sticker. I put hello with the Bobo tea. I think that's going to be really cute. And then on the blue, we're going to use some flowers. And next to me, I had like a random, almost like a thicker or stamp set. You're going to see it in a second. I do go through these, but they're a little bit too big, and they're going to wind up covering up most of what we just did. And I didn't want to cover up anything. So I'm going to go ahead and put those back. And then I'm going to grab the sentiment from, like I said, this, like a thinner foam thicker. I was thinking of using the butterflies. Excuse me, I just yawned. But I decided not to do the butterflies. But in this collection, it's from a fall collection. They had the word grateful. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, take grateful off. And then we're going to take the sticky off the back of that. And I do that mostly because I want to be able to move stuff around, and, you know, I'm prepping, right? I'm prepping, getting ideas for what we're going to create. I grab the flowers that I want to use. And now we're ready to make all 3 of these into some really nice cards that you can use for a lot of different occasions, right? As a way to say thank you. You tell them you're grateful. You want to wish someone, strength. Sky's the limit and whatever it is they're trying to do. And of course, hello never goes out of style. So thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you check in tomorrow when we turn these into the final projects. Thanks again, y'all, and I'll see you with our next video.